It's Steve Says with Dr. Steve Yanni, bringing you the news and updates that you've been wanting. Get ready, the news is coming from the school district of Upper Dublin. Steve says, it's time to see what Steve says.
Hello, Upper Dublin. This is Steve Yanni, your superintendent of schools, with another edition of Steve Says. I hope that you'll spend just a few minutes with me to discuss and learn about a couple of things that we have going on in the district that I'd like to bring to your attention. So first, I hope this video finds you well and getting ready to enjoy a great and relaxing weekend. Yesterday and today, our teachers at our middle schools and our elementary schools have had parent, teacher, guardian conferences, and we hope that you've had the opportunity to discuss your children's progress that they're making this year. These conferences are a great opportunity to get that front row seat into what your student is doing academically, behaviorally, and socially during the school year. So I want to thank all of the families that came to conferences, and of course I want to thank our teachers for their dedication in meeting with families. Next week starts the state assessment season. I call it a season because it does seem to go on for some time. Over the next couple of weeks, our students will take the ELA PSSA, the math PSSA, and then following that, our students will be taking the Keystones if they're taking algebra, biology, or 10th grade English. And then after that, we know the advanced placement exams occur. I want to be really clear about how we use this state assessment data in our school district in advance of students actually taking the exams. Every year we get asked, are we using this state assessment data to make high stakes decisions about students? And the answer is no. So we don't use, for example, PSSA data in placement decisions for students. We know that how a student performs over an entire year gives us a better picture rather than looking at a snapshot in time. And while the state assessments are important, and we all know they're important and honor that fact, those state assessments those results are just a moment in time. So we don't use those assessments to make high stakes decisions. But it still is important for students to try their best, do their best work on those assessments, because the results of those assessments are factored in to something called the Pennsylvania Future Ready Index. And that's a public-facing document that tells the public how our schools are doing. As we move into next school year, we'll of course be reporting on all of our results, and we'll be sharing how those results are being used, whether it's going to result in some curriculum work or some curriculum design changes. But I just wanted to put out there, again, as a reminder that we don't use those state assessment scores for high stakes decisions like we did and other districts did in the past. I also want to remind you that we have our registration system open. So we are absolutely still registering kindergarten students for next year. We have approximately 200 incoming kindergartners already registered for next year, and we'll continue registering them. So if your child or someone you know that lives in the district is going to be 5 by September 15th, they're eligible to come to kindergarten next year. So we'll look forward to meeting our youngest cardinals as they come to the nest in the fall. But we're also enrolling students in grades 1 through 12. So whether you have a child that's going to enter kindergarten or whether you're going to have a child either coming to us for the first time or returning to us in grades 1 through 12, new student registration is open. Even though we continue to take registrations over a period of time, it's really important that folks register their students as early as possible. That allows us to create class lists and student schedules to make sure that everyone is well set up for the upcoming school year. In the email that this video came to you in, I'm also including our school calendar for next year, just as a reminder of when the school year starts and when our holidays are, and the accumulation of next school year. That document is available on our website, but it's probably good if you keep that handy. If you have any questions throughout the year, you can look easily at our calendar. We're also excited that the end of the school year is coming soon. every year seems to go by more quickly than the previous year. And I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother telling me that that would someday be a reality. And I don't think I really believed her until these last couple of years. Every year does seem to fly by more quickly than the one before. As is the case everywhere, school days are long in the spring and in the warmer months, and sometimes we see an uptick in behavior that's not so desirable for school. Our building principals and teachers will be reminding students of behavioral expectations, just to keep everyone, cognizant of what we expect behaviorally here at school. And we know that our community is such great partners with our school district that we know that you'll reinforce good and positive behavior at home so that we end the year in a strong way. In addition to many of the safety features that we have and safety initiatives that we have going on across the district, I did want to ask our community members who go for walks during the day. We have noticed a few more people than normal walking on our grounds either alone or with pets. And just remember that we want to make sure that we keep our schools as safe as possible. And if you could refrain from being on our school property as you're walking through the community, especially close to our schools, we would really appreciate it. We know that this is your community and the schools are part of your community, but we also want to make sure that we do everything to keep our students safe. Again, I hope you have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing so many of you as we end the year together at concerts and performances and end of the year activities. Before we know it, 5th and 8th grade promotions will be happening, graduation will be happening, and we'll be heading off into summer vacation. Please remember that my door is always open. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Your kids are my kids. I say that at the end of every video. And even when we maybe don't agree on a decision or we don't see eye to eye on something, the fact that your kids are my kids is a philosophy of mine that never wanes. So if I could be of any assistance, please reach out. I hope you have a great weekend. And until next time, be well.
Have a great week, Upper Dublin.